I have been bombarded with questions, and I figured instead of just answering some of them individually, some of the questions that I get on repeat, I think you guys would benefit if I answered them on camera for you. Carl asks, I was wondering if you, since you're experienced in the subject, could give me any advice on how to control anxiety before/during an acid trip. Well, the word that you need to remove from your question is control. If you're looking to control any part of an acid trip or any part of any type of psychedelic trip in general, you're asking for trouble. I mean, the primary reason why people ever do have bad trips is because they're having a very difficult time just letting go of that control. In terms of easing your anxiety before going into a trip, one of the best things that you can do is actually to become proficient in meditation. Learning how to quiet your mind and focus on your breathing is an invaluable technique, especially if you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling very overwhelmed. For example, when it feels like your ego is being ripped from you, the only real option you have in that scenario is just to breathe and let it happen. A lot of people's anxiety and fear comes from thinking that they're going to be in their altered state forever and they're never going to return to normal. And although it may feel like that could be true at the time, through experience and through being in those states more often, you start to realize that you always do come back. You will be normal again. Another huge thing that can help lessen your anxiety, not only going into a trip, but during a trip, is having a trip sitter with you. A trip sitter is someone who's sober, who's just there kind of like a babysitter to take care of you, and just you knowing that there's someone there for you that is sober, that can, check your pulse if, say, you think your heart is racing out of control, or just little things like that. It can really help to calm you down if you're in a pinch. In terms of ways to lessen the anxiety, say if you're tripping alone and you don't want to go into this with a trip sitter, then you really do need to become proficient in things like meditation and even just becoming good at stilling your own mind and being okay being left alone in your thoughts. There are some people who can't stand their own thoughts and they constantly have to distract themselves with, say, Facebook or watching movies or watching YouTube videos, and they really just can't stand their own company. If you're the kind of person who can't handle your own thoughts, then you should probably be second guessing whether or not you want to go on an LSD adventure, because what's going to happen is the molecule is going to make you face your thoughts. There's going to be no damn escape from all that shit that's going on in your head that you don't necessarily want to come to terms with. And if this is you, or if you're a person who is currently running away from your emotions, your feelings, or your thinking patterns, then these substances, I want to say, may not be for you, but at the same time, because they're going to force you to look at what you're running away from, it can be extremely therapeutic. Because as everybody knows, the answer is never to run away from the things that scare you. If you want to become proficient in life, you need to start facing the things that scare you. And if the shit that's going on up here is one of the primary things that you're having trouble dealing with in your life, a psychedelic may actually be just what you need. But hey, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a medical professional, so I can't prescribe to you psychedelic drugs. Only your doctor can. So if you think you want to take LSD to face your issues, talk to your healthcare professional immediately. How freaky is that? It sounds like there's an atomic bomb warning going off right now. It's kind of annoying because I have to pause answering these questions now until this alarm stops going off, but whatever. I can just keep talking through it and it'll sound like I'm filming this video as there's nuclear fallout happening outside. Next question is from Eric, and he says, "Hello, Psych Substance. Sorry, can't remember your name. What's up? I've just seen your latest video on YouTube, and when you said about how you were studying about the engines of the universe and quantum mechanics and energy and such, well, it's what I've been doing lately, and I'm 18. So, as I have no doubt of your knowledge, I would like to ask you for any advice that could help a newbie in life. P.S. You're awesome." Well, thank you, Eric. I appreciate the love, bro. And in terms of me helping you in life, I would much rather point you in the direction of some philosophers or some deep thinkers that are a lot more efficient in giving advice than I am. But since you asked me, I guess I'll do my best to answer your question, dude. Well, one of the largest things that holds people back, at least what I've found, when they're trying to learn new information or new knowledge about the universe or just life, is their beliefs. Particularly the beliefs that have been condensed and hardened like cement in their brain through the neural net, which the older you get gets more and more solid, solidifying a lot of these beliefs that a lot of people have, which stops them from learning new things and kind of becoming real human beings and in charge of their life because they've spent their entire life solidifying these belief systems that have been implanted by society, and they never learn to think for themselves. And the largest thing that's going to hold you back from all of your learning is trying to fit everything into boxes that you've already designed for them. It's called having expectations on your experiences, especially when you're learning a lot of the lessons that psychedelics, say, can give you. Your beliefs can get in the way and they can kind of cloud the experience. This also holds true for just general knowledge, things that we believe are common sense. Remember, there was a time when everyone thought that the world was flat. This world could be infinitely more bizarre and magical and spectacular than any of you guys really deem it to be. Our beliefs hold us back from enjoying everyday beautiful things that people are always saying that they need more of in their life, like the simple things, right? Like, I never stop to smell the flowers. Just realizing that having a sense of smell is phenomenal. You get to receive input on invisible particles that you can't see that are traveling through the air and going up your nostrils. Like, that's phenomenal. Sound blows my mind. There's all these invisible things that we can't see, but we can pick up with other senses that are going on all the time. It makes it really difficult for me to understand how there's a lot of people who don't believe in other phenomena that may be going on all the time just because they can't see it. There could be an infinite amount of stimulus coming in and we simply don't currently have the senses to pick it up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not there. There was a time when organisms didn't have eyes. Did it mean that there was nothing to see? No. They just didn't have the sensory input to pick up the vibration of light. Taking psychedelics or just studying reality in general can challenge what we perceive as normal and can often propose new, sometimes frightening truths. What you need to do is stay critical and challenge every possible thing that you possibly can in every which way. If you ever are convinced that you have any one answer to anything, be your own opponent, challenge yourself, constantly fight your own notions and your own ideas. It's a scientific approach and it works. You need to try to prove yourself wrong at every corner. And if there's ever a thought or a philosophy you have that you cannot seem to prove yourself wrong in, ask someone else. Sometimes an outside opinion can be all it takes to shatter what you think is this model of reality that you've completely figured out, and then someone else comes in and proposes an idea that you never thought of, and the whole thing can come tumbling down like a house of cards. I know everyone says this, everyone who gives advice says this. Don't take everything I say as gospel, challenge everything I say as well. Well, it's true. Don't believe something just because me or someone else said it. You have to resonate with the ideas. If something doesn't resonate with you inside, for example, if it doesn't feel right in your gut when you hear me say something, challenge it. Maybe what is true for me isn't true for you. I don't believe that I have all the answers, and anyone who says they have figured it all out is a complete lunatic, and you should not listen to a word they say. Because I think part of the point of all of this is that you can't figure it out. And if you were to have all the answers and know the reason for life and understand why this universe exists, knowing that truth might cause you to hit your reset button early and eject out of here. In other words, kill yourself. I mean, that's, again, just an idea. I'm not proposing that as truth. Maybe there is a way to have all the answers and to be physically alive, but in my opinion, that'd be pretty fucking miserable. The fact that there's still things to figure out and there's still mystery in this world is probably part of the reason why everything's still going around in a circle. Maybe we really are just a dog chasing its own tail for all of eternity, and we're just not aware that we are the tail and the head, because all we can see is one little snippet at a time, as I heard in a very awesome Alan Watts lecture once. Anyway, I am completely rambling, trying to answer your question here. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A video. If you have questions that you would like me to answer live, then please send them to either my email address, which can be found on the About Me page, or send them to my Facebook. To be honest, I answer the Facebook a lot more frequently than I answer the emails, so the best way to get a hold of me really is through my Facebook. Huge thank you to everyone who's supporting me on Patreon right now. If you guys want to check out what Patreon is, follow the link. You guys are making these videos happen. If it wasn't for your continued support, I don't think I would be uploading as frequently, or I would have stayed as consistent with these videos, so huge, huge thank you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Till next time, take care, guys.